Want dis ons land, dis ons taal, en sonder soek kan ons gaan stories haal. Waar we lewe in die duine, hooggebouw uit sand, die helde in see en die goue straat. Die landskap wat oor generasies vertel, die harte wat in ritme met die golwe val. Ons land, ons taal.
Goeiemôre Etie.
Môre, dis Vrydag, jou.
En dis warm, dankie tog.
Lekker
Nou
in
nie,
die son.
ek wil nog nie my bikini aantrek nie, maar
Nee, ons hou maar nog 'n beenhare lank.
Ons kan dan weer wegkom. Ja, natuurlik, dit is Vrydag, dis uitspeltyd en ons is vandag by 'n baie spesiale plek.
Ek wil gou vir jou iets vra om vir die kykers 'n wenk te gee waar ons is. As jy tee maak, gooi jy eers jou melk in of eers die kookwater?
Man, as ek tee maak, nê, dan kook ek nou eers die water, dan gooi ek dit in die koppie wat porselein is, dat die koppie warm is. En dan gooi ek die water uit.
Okay.
Dan gooi ek en ek gebruik natuurlik regte blare. Ek doen nie sakkies nie. Ek praat totale snert, Henry. Ek vat die teesakkie, ek gooi hom in 'n beker wat baie goedkoop gekoop is en dan gooi ek die water in en dan gooi ek die melk in en
dan
that's
drink
your
jy
uncle.
hom.
En dan ja.
Maar julle moet kyk waarmee ons besig vandag en hoe ons tee drink.
In vandag se Republikein. Op die voorblad berig ons oor die jongste sitting van die parlementêre komitee wat ondersoek instel na die Ambokushu se versoek om wettig in die Bwabwata Nasionale Park met vee te boer. Daar is steeds duisende bees in die park en die komitee was ook nie tevrede met die antwoorde wat gister verskaf is nie. Namibië sê ook dankie aan wyle Dr. Paul Ludik, die eerste hoof van die polisie se forensiese dienste wat Woensdag verlaas op die vroeë ouderdom van 61 gegroet het. In 'n dringende aansoek teen die Medisynebeheerraad het die registrateur van medisyne, Francina Nambau, die belang van streng tenderregulasies benadruk om veilige gesondheidsorg in die land te verseker. Die registrateur verwerp AfriFarm se argument dat reëls onredelik, onregverdig en selfs irrasioneel is en nuwelinge in die bedryf benadeel. Lees meer op bladsy 3. AgriMonitor berig oor skaapboere se planne om markte in China, die VAE en Noorwe te ontsluit en teen Woensdag het beesboere reeds 116 miljoen gedeponeer van byna 200 miljoen se beleggings wat vir 'n nuwe uitvoerslagaanleg in die land gewerf is. Lees in die fokusartikel meer oor Namibië se trek sien en hoekom Miss Mavis en Tian Turner besluit het om 'n queen en king in die wêreld te wees. Ons agterblad bevat 'n voorskou van die naweek se klaprugby en die jaarlikse windhoek derby tussen United en Wanderers. Kry ook jou volledige sportprogram binne.
Ons kuier vandag vir Klets Uitspeel by 'n baie spesiale egpaar Renate en Martin wat hier langs my sit en julle verkoop tee. Waar die idee van gekom? Is julle teeliefhebbers?
Ja, ek sal so 'n bietjie probeer met Afrikaans, maar jy moet asseblief geduldig met my Afrikaans wees. We bought the tea shop last year. It's a business that had been in existence in Swakopmund already for a number of years. And we brought it here to Windhoek. And And we are now operating for about a year, mainly on markets, where we go and we promote the teas, and we are trying to get the attention of the Namibian people towards the difference between, let's say, what comes in a tea bag and what is possible when you come with a loose leaf tea. And that is our specialities. We deal in loose leaf teas. We offer a variety of over 100 different loose leaf teas, and that's black teas, green teas, rooibos tea, herbal tea, and fruit teas. And you have a rooibos with orange and ginger here. So we are not trying to compete with like the normal teas, but I would say that we have more depth of choice. And we love tea, and that's kind of our topic.
Martin, die Namibiërs, ons ken rooibos tee en ons ken swart tee. Is Namibiërs ontvanklik om nuwe teegeure te probeer, soos wat jy nou hier het, is gemmer en rooibos, nee?
Reg, ja.
Ja, wil hulle graag leer. Ek het altyd die gevoel gekry Namibiërs is meer koffiemense, maar dink jy ons Namibiërs hou van hulle tee?
Ik denk definitief zo. Kijk, ons verzoek ook met die markten waar we ons gaan uitstellen, om zo'n beetje verschillende groepen van die Namibiërs te krijgen. So, ons gaan naar die boerenmarkt 1 keer 'n maand, ons gaan hier naar Finkenstein te markt, ook dat is maar, ik denk elke 2 maanden, ons gaan hier naar die Duitse markt, hier die biomarkt hier in Klein Windhoek, en ook als er nog andere markten is. En ons zien baie dat die mensen belangstel en geïnteresseerd is. En specifiek bij die boerenmarkt, daar vragen die mensen en hij is ready om te proberen en iets nieuws te koop. En dat is baie interessant. Ons hou baie daarvan wie ontvankelijk die mensen is. En als je nou ook maar zo'n beetje kijkt, outside of Namibia, if you look towards South Africa, one can really say tea is the new coffee. In South Africa, you can already see that tea is really getting more in fashion. And here people also, they're starting to ask for specialty teas, like a herbal mate tea, which comes from South America. Now in wintertime, of course, is a beautiful time to not just go and buy a bottle of concentrates to make your glühwein with, but, play a little bit around. We offer spices, the original spices, and then you go and regulate the amount of orange juice or red wine that you sit with the spices that you simmer. And if it's really cold, like it was 2 days ago, then you go and you can maybe sneak in a little bit of brandy or...
Hier is nie drank in nie. Ek wil net sê dis 'n gesinsprogram. Dit is skoon suiwer tee. Verduidelik bietjie vir my die verskil tussen 'n sakkie tee en dan die blare tee of die takkies. Is daar verskil in smaak? Does it really make a difference?
Very, very much so. And it's something that we can maybe also bring to the attention of the camera in a little while. If you go and you just take a tea bag, open it up, and have a look what is inside, it's tea. In tea grading classifications, they call it fannings, which basically means dust. So if one would look at the quality in which tea is made, what starts as a high quality tea, where you can really see it's a leaf, it's a leaf of a plant, and then what comes later that goes into a tea bag, it's really the leftovers. We kind of jokingly, when we explain it to people and show it to people, we kind of say, this is what is swept off the factory floor. Here you can see what comes...
Ja, is baie fyn ook, nee?
Ja, dat is amper net so stof.
Ja.
That is what comes out of a tea bag, and here next to it we now showed there's a little bit of real tea. This is a vanilla tea that we offer. And you can see that it's a leaf that has been dried, and that's what it comes from.
So hy gaan obviously, soos ek verstaan, hy mos nou baie meer vol geur wees, die blare of die takkies as wat hierdie een sal wees.
And there's a lot more flavor in it.
Yeah.
It's a higher grade, it's a higher quality also.
Yeah.
And besides all that, I think, sustainability, the whole sort of recycling ability and that sort of thing is something that is on everybody's mind today. Think about it in terms of you buy a carton that is wrapped in plastic, In that you have 40 tea bags, which might even be individually wrapped. What is all the waste that you have to throw away to make a cup of tea? Whilst when you have loose leaf tea, you have a device that you can use repeatedly to brew your tea. And best of all, once you've done with your tea, you actually, the leftover leaves, you put into the garden and you use it as fertilizer.
So is omgewingsvriendelik ook.
Ja, baie.
Martin, iets van wat ek hou van tee. Daar's baie rituele wat teeliefhebbers het. Oor die koppie moet eers warm gemaak word. Ons het nou nie suiker of melk hier in nie. Is daar 'n spesiale manier hoe jy vir mense kan 'n wenk gee oor hoe om die perfekte koppie tee te maak?
You know, but at the end of the day, really, it is. You can go wild. I mean, we've all heard of Japanese tea ceremonies, and there's also Chinese ways in which the Chinese prepare their tea, or you even get a German tea ceremony for East Frisian teas. But at the end of the day, you know, it's like as you prefer it. I prefer my tea natural, and that's why I've now also offered you this rooibos tea here, natural, without any sugar or milk added. But at the end of the day, if you prefer to do your rooibos tea with cream and with honey, you know, you must do what you like and what you prefer the most. Yes, it does make a difference, especially now in winter, if you warm up the teapots a little bit. I think warming up the teacups maybe goes a little bit far. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. I always say that, you know, coffee is to go. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have this vision of people running around in big cities. I mean, Windhoek qualifies to a degree as well. And they go to these coffee places and then they get their little coffee, cappuccino or latte or skinny or all these fancy terms with it. But it's to go. And then they rush off to the office and all this sort of thing. Tea time is me time. It's a bit more sit back, relax, and do how you prefer it. You know, come to the office, make your cup of tea, take it to your desk, and then you start the day. So that's sort of a little bit the approach that I would take. People should take with tea. Experiment and try what you like. Try what you like. Also, I mean, I've mentioned just now the difference between. Have a look here again between the tea fannings, what comes out of a tea bag, and here at the bottom, what proper, in inverted commas, loose leaf tea looks like. And I was talking about different accessories that you can use here, like these, we call them permafilters, that you can suspend in the teapot. And then you put the lid on to let your tea steep. And afterwards you rest the strainer here on the lid. Or we've got these, for instance, little claws here that you can use for tea. Or everybody probably finds that in grandma's cupboard. The good old tea eggs are also still perfectly well lit and have their application.
Martin, waar kry julle tee vandaan? Het jy soos 'n spyskaart waarvan af jy bestel of hoe werk dit?
At the moment, we work with a specialty tea contour in Germany. They do more than 500 different teas. And, you know, when you start looking at the different ingredients, what goes into a tea, the people that blend the teas are people that have noses like a parfumeur. Their noses are insured because there's so many different ingredients. We have some teas here that probably have 15 or 20 different ingredients. So it's not something that is easy to blend on your own. Having said so much, still, you know, sometimes we go and we play around a little bit and we go into the spice cabinet and we take out some star anise, for instance, and we drink the star anise together with a normal rooibos tea. So I also encourage people that if they want to experiment and try things out themselves, go ahead, of course.
Kan ek vra, wat is jou en Renate, jou vrou se gunsteling tee? Jou gunsteling tee vir die winter en jou gunsteling tee vir somer?
For winter, it probably has to be glühwein tea, especially if it's after a cold spell that we've had just now. But we actually also, we prefer a plain, how can you say, sort of unflavored, straightforward black tea. And without sugar, without milk or anything, just like a normal, nice English breakfast tea or a nice Assam, which is quite strong. or a very light Darjeeling. These sort of black teas really are quite nice and quite special. And of course, green tea. You see, I start now, and it's nice in the evening to have a herbal tea. So yeah, different times of the day for different teas, and that's the nice thing. They say tea is the most versatile drink in the world, and other than water, tea is also the most consumed beverage in the world.
Nie bier nie.
Interesting enough.
Martin, ons kan ure gesels. Baie dankie vir my tee. Ek gaan nou 'n bietjie vir Jo wat nou agter die kamera is, laat sy proe, maar baie dankie. Ek hoop julle bekeer baie Namibiërs. Ek wil nie hulle moet op 'n bier drink nie, maar dat hulle meer tee drink.
Yeah, so do we. We look forward to hear from everybody. Find us on Facebook under Tea Time Namibia. And you're welcome also to call us. Our direct number is 081 4444 626.
Martin, dit lyk vir my asof tee, dit werk op al jou senses. Soos die ruik, né? Die mense kan ruik wat se tee is dit.
Ja, precies. Dat is die idee. Ons het ook bij die markttijd ons hier die glassen en wat ons die samples van die thee gooien. Hier achter heeft ons opgeschreven wat alles die bestanddelen is van die thee. En dan kan die mensen zo'n beetje idee krijgen. En dan kan kijken mooi wat is binnen. Ja. En dan ook zo'n beetje ruiken. Ja. Wat is die smaak, die aroma's van die thee. Ja. En dan krijgen mensen zo'n klein beetje idee.
Okay, hier is so baie goed. Hier is nou van die wat reeds gemeng is. Maar iets wat ek wil vra, Martin, is wat is hierdie klippe? Dis nie klippe nie, nee.
Nee, ja, klippe nie. Ons het hier ook, dat is genoemd rock candy. Candice zucker. So it's a type of sugar. Dat is crystallized sugar, dat is de brain sugar en de wit sugar. En dat is specifiek voor tiergedank. Zodat je dat in die thee kan ingooien en dat oplost dan, dat dissolves slowly. Voor die aroma.
So is dit spesiaal vir tee. En het hulle ook geure of is dit nou maar net soos jy nou gesê het bruin en wit suiker?
Ja, dis man just so as you get brown and white sugar, it sweetens.
Ja. En dan hierso is nou 'n maatlepel. Nee, Martin, dit wys nou presies hoe moet jy wat waar gooi, nee, in wat se pot.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a measuring spoon, and it's big on one side. That sort of is more or less the measure of a typical cup, of a typical pot of tea. And then the other side is a typical measure for a nice big cup of tea. But at the end of the day, I always say it gives you an indication, but prepare it as you like.
Jy kan mos nou besluit hoe sterk jy wil hê.
Ja, presies.
Nou hier is my gunsteling tee. Winter Glühwein spices. Kan jy 'n bietjie vir my vertel van dit, wat se spices en is dit alles wat hierin is?
Yeah, it's a blend really of the typical Glühwein sort of spices. You have cloves, you have cinnamon, you have a little bit of black pepper and aniseed, star anise. That's sort of what typically goes into Glühwein spices.
Nou gooi jy dit in 'n hele pot of hoe werk dit? Gebruik jy al daai? Hier is jou aanwysings.
We have a little recipe here attached. And what the idea is basically is that you use one measuring spoon of spices per large mug. Okay. Then you sort of simmer the spices in water for about 15-20 minutes. Afterwards you sweeten it a little bit if you want to with like either candice or with sugar or a little bit of honey. Let it cool down and then you add 1/3 orange juice and 1/3 red wine. And as I've said earlier, you can sneak something in if it's very cold, and then there goes your Glühwein. It's also very nice if you drink it in summer on ice. And especially because there's only 1/3 wine in it, it doesn't give you that immediate kick.
Ja.
So it's nice to drink at lunchtime.
Wat ons eintlik wil hê is die kick, Martin. Iets wat ek nou nogal wil vra, hierdie teepot, ek's mal oor hierdie teepot. So hy het sy dingetjie in wat jy nou jou wat noem mense dit nou, hierdie blare en goed. Ja. So dit kom so uit.
Yeah, exactly. You basically put your tea in here, then you let the tea steep with the lid on, and afterwards you can take it easily out, put it on a little plate or something to rest, so that it can drain off, and then your tea is in the teapot.
Ja, en hierdie ene werk ook so, nee. Hy klaar sy sy sakkie is klaar binne.
I always say these porcelain teapots are they are made by the people who know. The lid is attached, the lid can't fall off and break, and the diffuser already comes with it. So everything that you need to make a perfect cup of tea is there.
So 'n man kan dit gebruik.
Selfs 'n man kan.
Alles bly by mekaar. Okay, baie dankie Martin. Ons gaan nou tee maak. Ek gaan nou 'n bietjie kyk of sy glühwein tee 'n skop in het.
Dit is uiteindelik naweek en daar is beslis nie 'n tekort aan dinge waarmee jy jouself kan besig hou nie. Dit skop op 'n hoë noot af met die Suid-Afrikaanse rocklegende Arno Karstens wat vanaand vanaf 8uur by Desert Tavern in Swakopmund optree. Kaartjies hiervoor kos $200 via webtickets.com.na. Arno tree ook môre, Saterdag, by die Windhoek Buiteklub of dan die Country Club op, waar ou gunstelinge deur die Springbok Nude Girls tot die ikoniese enkelsnitte van sy solo loopbaan sal opvoer. Die musikante Marie Bosman en Rian Smit sal ook by die geleentheid optree. Kaartjies kos ook $200 per persoon en sal by die ingang beskikbaar wees. Dan vir die wat 'n rustiger familiedag in gedagte het, kan môreoggend vanaf 9uur aansluit by die Elisenheim Urban Market. Daar sal lewendige musiek, 4 dansers, kraftbier en gin en 'n groot verskeidenheid van ander unieke stalletjies wees. Gaan loer ook gerus op hulle Facebookblad om meer inligting te kry. Dan, vir die wat hulself aan die kus bevind, word die gewilde Swakopmund nagmark weer môre aand vanaf 6uur by die Hotel and Entertainment Center aangebied. Daar sal heerlike eetgoed, drinkgoed, verskeie stalletjies, lewendige vermaak deur die musiekduo The Els, baie aktiwiteite vir die kinders en vele meer wees om te doen. Dis dit van my kant af. Geniet jou naweek en wees veilig.
Cheers.
Wel, ons kan seker cheers. Ek weet nie of dit is soos hulle dit in Engeland doen nie, maar ek voel nou soos 'n properse lady.
Ja,
Yes, lekker.
op die Queen. Queens.
Op die
Ons
Queen,
Queens.
op Queens en op my dogter in Engeland. Lief vir jou meigie. Julle moet 'n heerlike naweek hê. Ek hoop julle drink potte vol tee uit.